Michael Vick going for it all.
Gunslinger.
And let's send him off to coaching.
And then there was the 1960 game, there was the 4th and 26 game, and there was that one. So they played in the postseason 3 times, and all had great endings or dramatic endings.
Yeah, I'm good without a dramatic ending. Nice, boring Eagles.
So we might get the Packers with the wounded quarterback.
Well, without their best cornerback, also Alexander.
So.
Yeah, he did not come back. By the way, did not come back in. He was warming up, but did not come back in the game, Jordan Love. So you know that if at all possible, he's playing next Sunday.
And then that trio of young receivers, Christian Watson, one of their guys just got hurt off the game at this point, you know. I mean, Reed is their best wide receiver, but we're talking about a guy that's, 6'4", runs a 4.3 40. I mean, I'm not going to say, I don't want anybody hurt, but he got quartered off, so just,
But it's okay to miss a game.
Our game especially. Yeah, our game especially.
By the way, there is also the question of when the Eagles will play. We'll get that to you as soon as we get the information. But they could play in the afternoon. They could play at 8:30 at night.
I think it's going to be Sunday night. That's my guess.
Sunday night?
I'm just predicting that. That's my bold prediction.
Monday night.
Monday night. This is the first year of the Monday night.
Usually have 4 or 5
big marquee team, big audience.
Yeah, they lost on Monday night last year.
Yeah, don't tell me that. Thank you.
Let's not even talk about last year.
Larry, bygones be bygones. Leave them alone now.
Right. We're only worried about the Green Bay Packers right now. Period. Nothing else. No more historical data, Mike.
That's it. Let's go to Who Took Flight, presented by Yingling. And a look at the Eagles and Packers and what's upcoming potentially next week. Number 2 seeded Eagles will host the 7th seed Green Bay Packers next week. They beat them week 1 in Brasilia, 34-29, and that was shaky at the end too. Yeah. Eagles 2-1 all time against the Packers in the playoffs. Of course, won in 1960 at Franklin Field. They won in 2003 in the division round. That was the 4th and 26 game. Donovan McNabb to Freddie Mitchell.
I like to take my hands.
He's so good.
That was the Dallas game. He said that.
Oh, that was the Dallas game.
That was a 60-yarder. Yeah. And of course, in overtime, Doc had that interception of Brett Favre and 35-yard return. Probably the worst pass Brett Favre ever threw.
Yeah, because they were dead to rights, the Eagles, and all of a sudden, the 4th and 26.
That was. But in overtime, Doc made the play of the game and brought it back into field goal range. Akers hit. That was what a day that was.
Favre made a throw that was uncharacteristic. He threw a lollipop down the middle of the field.
It was like a punt.
Right there.
How much different are these teams? Forget about the matchup. Just how much further along are they from week 1? Certainly the Eagles.
The Eagles defensively are a different team than they were. Obviously, Cooper DeJean coming in for Avonte Maddox in the slot made a huge difference. But they just kind of looked. That was their first game under Vic. They were still learning him. He was still learning them. They play so well together now. And I think it just clicked after that bye week. They were a different defense. And, even the games they won before the bye, they just weren't a great defense yet. But they are now. They end up finishing number 1 in the league in defense. And that's first time since 1991. So they missed by 15 yards 2 years ago. So I think they're a much better defense. Offensively, they're still the same unit, but that defense has certainly improved a lot.
And obviously, they'll look at that game and break it down schematically what each team did. But I think it'll be more about individual matchups because, as Rube said, both teams are really totally different right now. It's been a long time since the game in Brazil. So they'll study each other. That's just the way the NFL is.
If you go by history and the numbers, 14 wins ties the franchise record, which they set in 2022. That was the Super Bowl season. Also 13 plus wins now. The 3 times before that they've done it, they've gone to the Super Bowl. That's not too shabby. Chances that this happens this year. After the one game we're looking at right now for next week.
Don't you start now,
Gentlemen, I said it the first game.
What?
I said Saquon Barkley wins the rushing title this year, and he is the number 1 rusher. He solidified it, last week because you look at what happened down in with the Ravens. He didn't get even to 2,000 yards. My boy Saquon won. They win the Super Bowl. So I'm still sticking with my prediction.
Is your arm okay? From patting yourself back? I don't want you to hurt yourself from patting yourself.
It's kind of hard. I'm right-handed, but I think my left is feel a little better, so I can, But I just truly believe this team. It's a high-powered team. They're meant to do what they're doing right now because as they go forward, they just learned each other, and they're playing at an awesome level right now.
There's no weakness on this team.
Well, I don't know now. At this point, Our our field goals and PATs is starting to really. I wasn't nervous at first.
It was bad conditions out there. That 39, that's a tough kick. You'd like to see him make it.
Yeah,
Come on, Rube. I'm gonna defend Jake Elliott.
Because you were out there in that cold, that's all you wanted to
That's
defend.
right.
Yeah, you felt that. Yeah, I walking from my car to here. I'll tell you what. Woo.
Rube, we were talking pregame about Jalen Hurts and what is going to befall him with regard to playing time next weekend. He's still in the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
He'll play based on what?
Yeah, so he looks fine. I ran into him in the hallway. Not allowed to talk to him because he's in the protocol, but, he didn't have dark glasses on or anything. He was walking with Kenny Pickett and getting a smoothie at the smoothie bar.
Can you imagine if we had smoothie bars when we were
We had to pay for them, too.
The thing is, to clear protocol, you have to practice. That's the last phase. You have to practice and then report no symptoms the next morning. Mm-hmm. He's not going to practice for the Giants game, right?
No.
Why would he practice when he's not playing?
Exactly.
So he's inside. He'll practice Wednesday, and then Thursday morning he'll be fine. Everybody in the organization, nobody's concerned about it. I mean, to me, it's a 100% shot. He'll be healthy. He'll be out there for the Packers, and he'll be playing.
What are the chances they use a little gamesmanship and say, all right, I'm not going to practice him until Thursday or Friday?
Why would you do that?
Just a little gamesmanship, so they prepare for Tanner McKee instead of,
It's not going to happen.
What if they play Saturday?
Well, then they would practice Tuesday.
Shorter week, tighter
They would practice
turnaround?
Tuesday, and he'd be cleared Wednesday. He will be cleared from everything we're hearing.
So, to your knowledge, what's happened from last week to this when he was unable to play last week against the Cowboys? Was there a moment in time where you learned that he was going to be good to go this coming weekend?
Well, I mean, it's just the benefit of having time. I mean, word down at the stadium this morning was that he's going to be fine. So, I think Clarkey was the first to report that the Eagles aren't concerned about it. And from what I've heard from people, they're just not worried about it. He's going to be okay. He probably would have been cleared if he practiced this past week if they needed him today, which obviously they didn't because they have Tanner McKee. But I don't think there's any question. Nobody seems worried about it. Nick even said, Nick doesn't say anything about injuries, kind of conceded he is progressing through the protocol. So
right.